Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, if it makes you sick, call us quick. That could be the motto for my next guest. She's Deidra Gurn. She's the owner of Reset Decon. We'll explain next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, there are a lot of cleaning services around Dallas-Fort Worth. Most of them specialize in just average, everyday cleaning, but then there's extreme cleaning. And what I mean by that is a biohazard, maybe a mold contamination. Deidra Gurn is in the studio. She's the owner of Reset Decon. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me on, Jeff. This is a thrill.
Oh, a thrill for me too. So you started this in 2018.
Correct.
And tell me what got you into it.
Well, honestly, it was a midlife crisis that started all this.
We all have them.
I was a high school English teacher at that time, and my husband was working in advertising. And his journey, he wanted to own a business at some point. So we discussed it, and he was looking into purchasing a franchise. His journey took him to own a sandwich shop, and I'm like, you know what? I'm really becoming disillusioned with public education. And I know if I had my own business, and the one that I went with was extreme cleaning, I knew if I was cleaning up biohazards, I would feel young and interesting again. With the suit and helping people in a cool, fancy way, kind of like a cop. No, not really, but sort of. Anyway. And it fit the bill. I definitely feel young and interesting doing this work.
It. So when you're working on a biohazard, are you in a hazmat suit like we see in Breaking Bad or something like that?
Yes, we are, because the suit protects you from anything maybe that's aerosolized. You don't want to get on your skin. It also keeps the yuck off of you. Oftentimes when you're cleaning up these scenes, there's terribleness and so there's double gloves and the masks, the respirators, because you don't want to be taking in any viruses or bacteria that also could be present, because usually at those scenes can be a lot of blood.
Absolutely.
And we don't know if these individuals that passed away maybe had hepatitis or HIV or...
And this is very specialized. So in North Texas, how many companies do what you do?
Not a lot. I don't think there's a lot of... There's some larger franchise-based companies that are in Dallas-Fort Worth area. Maybe 5 or 6.
That's so small.
And then there's some mom and pop ones also. My mentor, it has been doing this business. She's been in this business for 20 years, mostly biohazard. And she did the hoarding and the drug activity stuff at one time, but now she's getting older and she's by herself and has 1 employee.
Wow. So
she just takes on the smaller jobs.
Yes.
There's 4 of us, so we can take on the larger jobs. I was thinking back to the first question when you asked how I got into this industry, and I think I finished answering that.
Yeah, I mean, it is fascinating. I mean, it does feel like CSI. We're gonna pull up your website.
Oh, cool.
All right. So as we look at your website, I want you to brag about your team, because right. I mean, you have to have a very special team.
Yes. So, and I've been through a handful of employees. When I first opened, my nephew was my project manager, and it was just the 2 of us. And then I had a former student who worked for us part-time. And then my nephew was just going to give it a year. And after a year, if he liked it, he would stick around. If he didn't like it, he would move on and do something else. So he's not with me anymore. And then I had some other employees, and then finally I got large enough that I could hire people full-time to be with me on salary. So now I have a project manager, and his name is Caesar, and he's fabulous.
Wow.
He has a construction background, makes great decisions, really great running the crew. He's wonderful. And then I have a lead technician named Rosie. She's really good with detail and cleaning and organizing. And then Caesar's baby brother works for me right now. His name's Angelo.
Wow.
And he's part-time, but he's been on every job for like a year now because the work has been there.
Yes.
We're all like-minded. We cry with the client sometimes if that's warranted. We listen to what they want done. It's not just me going in there and I'm telling them what to do. I'm here lately this year. And last year, I've been gone a lot doing work for the U.S. Marshals and traveling for them. So they've been running jobs without me, and I always get tons of compliments afterwards.
Isn't that
I love
so
my crew.
rewarding?
They've been with me for 4 or 5 years now,
Wow.
full time.
That's
yes,
so
I
rewarding.
am blessed. I am blessed.
Let's talk about going into a drug house, because especially like we all hear stories about fentanyl, that how deadly it can be. It takes a very special, highly trained team to remediate that.
Correct. I think people assume that what it's going to look like is what you see in the movies or on TV, and it's not like that. I have not done, no, yes, we have, fentanyl remediation here in DFW. Most of it's happening out of state for the U.S. Marshals. So what that process kind of looks like is there's years of tracking of what's going on with these drug traffickers. You get in trouble federally if you're drug trafficking, and apparently you lose all your property when that happens. So now the U.S. Marshals have all these homes that either need to be tested for how much residue for meth and or fentanyl are there. And then if they test high enough, then those homes need to be decontaminated and pass clearance so they can then be resold.
Yes.
So residue is not, I guess it can be dangerous. I mean, I don't want, we take the precautions to go in for testing.
Sure.
Because why wouldn't you? With the respirator and the covering up your skin. Because fentanyl, the main way fentanyl is going to hurt you is if you inhale it.
Okay.
Inhaling it is what kills you. Ingesting it is what kills you. Getting it on your skin is not going to kill you. You would have to be in a bathtub of fentanyl for it to hurt you.
Wow.
If you got, a sprinkle on your skin, maybe you might feel a little something, but it's not going to kill you.
Sure.
So that little 2 gram
Right.
thing with the penny picture that people see, that's only dangerous if you eat it or breathe it.
Right.
So the concern with fentanyl and or meth in these homes is the residue. It's the residue. It's in the HVAC system. It's on the walls. It's on the floor. It's on the ceiling. It's stuck. You can't see it. And that's what I find if I can do a little side tangent here, what I find disheartening about being in an unregulated state. When home inspectors are inspecting homes, they're looking for damage and mold and foundation things and things that are, shouldn't be there or need to be fixed. Nobody's testing for meth residue. Nobody's testing for fentanyl residue.
Right.
You can smoke that stuff in your home and leave residue behind. And I don't think people realize that. You don't have to have a lab in your home to contaminate your home. You can just be enjoying your meth. And meth is laced with fentanyl these days. So is that going to kill you if you buy a house, a used house? that people were smoking drugs in, and everyone's smoking drugs these days. It is not, well, those people did drugs in their house, that house is going to be, no. We've cleaned mansions where lawyers lived, and they were smoking meth.
Let's transition into mold, because I think that it's probably more common than people even know.
Yes.
Like, I think they call it a sick house syndrome, where you could have, all these symptoms and you don't even realize that you're slowly getting poisoned in your own home.
Yeah.
Talk about mold.
So I am a mold remediation contractor. I make it go away. There are also mold assessors. Those are the people who test for it, look for it, can tell you, take an air sample in your home to let you know if it's there and what kind of mold it is. I think there's a little bit of panic when it comes to mold. It can make you not feel well. And it's also going to depend on if you're autoimmune compromised, if you're older, if you have small children, if maybe you already have asthma or breathing issues, mold's going to exacerbate that. So there is concern with mold. However, most of the time, mold that grows in your home, if there's an overabundance of moisture somewhere, mold needs something to eat: drywall, paper, wood, and it needs to get wet. So when those two things happen and you don't dry it out, you're going to start getting a microbial growth. Most homes have Aspergillus and Penicillium molds, and those are common household molds. Mold is everywhere. It's outside. You walk in the house, you're bringing mold into your house. So mold is all spores. Mold spores are always going to be in your home. You just don't want an overgrowth of them.
Yes.
So will those two common household molds make you sick? Probably not, but they'll make you feel like you have a cold, runny nose, maybe a scratchy throat, especially if you're starting to get a lot of it in your home.
Yes.
So if you just keep your home clean and dry, you're going to be fine. What I think people panic over is what they call black mold.
Right.
Most molds are black, and just because it's black doesn't mean it's the black mold. Black mold that we're all afraid of is Stachybotrys. Stachybotrys is the one that, it can cause health problems. It can. But you don't know if you have Stachybotrys unless you have it tested. You can't see mold and go, I'm going to die. You have to have it tested to know if it's the dangerous stuff or not.
And we're going to pull up your Instagram page, because you have some amazing images on Instagram, including some hoarding. So as we're looking down, are there any that you want to point out?
Because we have been very busy with adult protective services here lately. A lot last year, and come February, the phone's ringing again. Hey, Deidra, will you go out and do? Our estimates are free, always free.
Yes.
We want to go out there and establish rapport with the clients and do a proper evaluation, especially if there's odor. Pictures can be helpful sometimes, but I need to see,
Tell me,
how bad is it?
Tell me,
and what I saw on those pictures is some of the really, I don't know, people get giddy-uppy sometimes in life, and
what? Tell me one of your, I shouldn't say favorite, but a memorable hoarding issue that you dealt with.
The most memorable hoard we ever came across was, I won't say the city, but it was tragic because the people wound up not making it in the end. But because it was so bad, and when I tell you what we saw, you're going to go, what? How do people I hear that all the time. How do people live like that? I'm like, that because they gave up, I'm assuming. A worried friend of the family went over to their house. It was a husband and wife. They didn't have any kids. And she couldn't get in the house. Nobody would come to the door, so she broke in through the garage. And when she came in the garage door, she had to push open the garage door to the house and climb over all this debris and boxes and garbage.
Wow.
The house was over your head. every room with Amazon boxes and food that had been ordered and just left in the living room. The friend that she was worried about was on the floor in the master bedroom upstairs, and she would not get up. She didn't want to get up. She was done.
Wow.
And she was over 400 pounds, and so her and her husband couldn't help her get up. So they were going to start clearing out the house and then maybe have like paramedics come in, I think was their plan. This was years ago. And so she's like, we can't do this by ourselves. So she called my company, and then come to find out, down the hallway from the master bedroom was a guest bedroom where the husband was. He was over 700 pounds, bedbound, and you couldn't see him or get to him because there were all these garbage bags that filled up the doorway, and they were all full of his feces.
Oh, gosh.
He would go potty and then fling the trash bag out of the room, down the hallway, down the stairs. And so there were poo bags.
Wow.
Almost half of the house. It was the craziest thing we ever saw. And I'm like, I can't leave these people in this house. And so we would call the cops for a welfare check just about every day after we left, because it took us 2 weeks to empty this house of all the stuff.
Goodness.
5 40-yard dumpsters. The cops would show up, and the guy, he worked at night in IT and then slept all day. He would answer the Ring camera and say, we're fine, go away. And then one time I showed up and I'm like, why aren't you helping these people? And he was like, people can live how they want to live.
Wow.
That's your response? You're not even going to go in. Actually, they did go in the house once, and the guy told them to get the F out of his house.
Wow.
So I'm like, I can't put up with this. I called Adult Protective Services near the end of the job. She went in there and talked to the lady, and the lady was like, I don't want to leave. This is the end of my journey. Anyway, she got, I guess, the fire department involved. They went in there. The woman had already passed away. And they had to take the man out the second-story window. And then I heard that he passed away a couple of years ago, too.
Well,
So that was the craziest job we ever did.
We have about 2 minutes left, and it just occurred to me, Deidra, do you see what you do as a ministry in a way?
I'm hoping that our services reset someone's home. Physically, we're resetting a home. We hope that it resets their sense of hope, the client's sense of hope, that if we take away the yuck, take away the biohazard, take away the drug activity, take away the mold, that the spirits will lift and these people will find a new way to carry on, love themselves, have some hope, maintain what we've done, and be happy again. Because again, a number one service is resetting someone's house from being depressed and just having it get all gross. I know it's worked a few times, but we have reserviced multiple people because now they trust us. They know that we can be discreet and we'll go in and make their house lovely again.
Yes.
But then 6 months later, they're like, I did it again. Come help me. And I'm like, come on.
Wow.
Why won't you feel better? But
Deidra, I think you're very special, and I'm so glad that we
Thank
got a chance
you.
to meet and
Thank you.
dive into your story.
I
We're
appreciate
gonna end with her website, which is resetdecon.com. The great Deidra Gurn. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff, for the
You were
opportunity.
wonderful. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.